Good day. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That's me. This is where we will view the world through the lens of life and interaction, hopefully applying some common sense, empathy, and intelligent reasoning. The world is a crazy place. Let's explore it together. Hey peeps, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. First and foremost, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, your laptop, or your pad. Anchor will then distribute these podcasts, no fee, everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, anywhere. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app today, Anchor, Anchor, or go to Anchor, Anchor.fm to get started. You will have fun. Good day to you. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That would be me. It is November 24th, a couple of days before Thanksgiving 2020. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. I hope all of you are well and safe. I thought I would try and sneak one more little podcast, one more little ditty for us to contemplate prior to the holidays. Now, we've been talking about this COVID pandemic and mental health for quite some time. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that was probably the first podcast that I did that had great reviews, speaking of which. So I thought that we might revisit this 9 months later. So lots of reports, lots of studies, lots of mental health experts weighing in on this subject. And in the spring when COVID struck, the impact mentally was pretty substantial. We were all scared, socially isolated. We lost our jobs, school shutdowns, businesses closed, yada, yada, yada. So isolation and loneliness was a big thing. And it was particularly a big thing with the elderly that were either hospitalized or institutionalized in geriatric facilities because their family couldn't come see them. So at that point in time, 1 in 4 adults over 65 reported anxiety or depression. And that was significantly higher than in years past. Well, as time has gone on, we have realized that COVID is not just attacking the elderly when it comes to mental health. In fact, our young people are at greatest risk. And speaking to you as a college professor, I can tell you that my students are part of that. So what surprised us was that a CDC study came out and stated that 40% of Americans are now grappling with at least one mental health or drug-related problem following the pandemic. 40%. Young adults have been hit harder than any other age group. 75% of young adults are struggling with some mental health issue. Another statistic that was quite depressing, the ages of 18 to 24, 1 in 4 25% between the ages of 18 and 24 have contemplated suicide over a 30-day period in the summer. These figures are alarming, and what's even more alarming is that those individuals get younger. We have an increased suicidal ideation in high school and preteens as well. In fact, significant spikes in suicide across the country in children as young as 9. Wow. So how does that play with race? You know, we've heard pretty early on that people of color, particularly the African Americans, are at more risk for COVID and do poorly under those circumstances. So how about mental health? Well, trend lines also suggest that suicides are higher among racial communities. More suicides among African Americans in the first 6 months of 2020 than all of 2019 combined. The Black, Latinx, and Native American communities face 2 to 5 times more mental health issues that are directly associated with their increased likelihood of COVID. They are more likely to not have only contracted the virus, but have suffered the loss of a close one or family member within their community. How about gender? Women have been disproportionately affected by COVID, much in the same way that our communities of color have. Women make up the majority of the essential workforces, so that makes sense, because it puts them at risk. They're also more likely to experience, because of their job description, a loss of that job, contributing to their mental health. So now we've got loss of job, greater risk of infection, schools and daycares closing, women taking on more of a burden than usually. So when we look at the facts, 83% of women compared to 36% of men are reporting significant bouts of depression. What do we do about all this? That's the issue. This is not going away anytime soon. It's here to stay. In fact, it's here with a thunder. The cases are rising globally. The cases in the United States are higher than they were in March. Yes, we're talking vaccines, but when it comes to those non-essential workers, we're not looking at vaccines for the general public until spring, possibly summer of 2021. That's a good ways off. So what do? There's no quick fixes, we know that. But we do need to think about what we can do to take care of ourselves and our family members in our community. We have to learn how to talk about it. We need to learn how to reach out to our community, reach out to professionals. Research tells us that even the most modest of interventions, just something simple like, hey, how you doing? Are you okay today? Can reduce depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideations. Just the fact that someone else out there cares. I make it a point to talk to my students every week. How are you? How's things going? How are classes? I have numerous students that have either been exposed or have family members with COVID, or they themselves have COVID. And it's important that we keep track and that we ask how we're doing. Do we have the answers? No. Do we have quick fixes? No. Is it going away anytime soon? No. Might our businesses shut down again? Yes. Our schools are definitely not going to go back face to face anytime soon. So these are the facts. And if these rates of mental health issues continue to increase, particularly young people, this is a major, major problem. We have a huge deficit in mental health in this country anyway. So, peeps, reach out. Reach out to your friends and neighbors. I know they can't see a smile behind that mask, but ask how they're doing. Text, FaceTime, phone call, email, Facebook, whatever. Reach out. Connect. You know, we said this early on, to connect to those people that we can't reach, particularly those folks in nursing homes and geriatric facilities and senior facilities, those folks who can't get out. Reach out, keep in touch with your elderly neighbor. Well, now I'm telling you to reach out and keep in touch with your friends in your community. Even the casual people that you do business with on a weekly basis. Reach out. How are you today? How are things going? It doesn't take much. This is the worst pandemic that most of you have seen, that most of you have lived through. So we must take it seriously. And we must pull together and make a collected effort to reach out. Just a short little ditty before Thanksgiving. I am indeed grateful for my health and of all the blessings that I have received in my life, and I hope that everybody else is too. I hope you celebrate these holidays safely with loved ones and community and friends. And while you're at it, reach out. Until next time, peace.